In this video, I will be showing you the complete AI-powered workflow in Snaptrude. We will be creating a complete campus by creating a program, developing it, setting it up on a location, developing the layout, modeling the whole 3D BIM model, creating AI-powered renderings and complete documentation, and then exporting everything into Revit. Let's go. Now, if you would like to try out Snaptrude, the link is going to be up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. Now, let's get started. First thing is going to be our program sheet. Setting up the project is really simple. You can add members to the project here, and then you can define roles for each member. Now, let's start a new project. Name it, and let's go to the program. This is where you'll define what you need in a spreadsheet. AI will help you with that just by telling it what type of project you're working on, and it will fill out the spreadsheet as a starting point. And then, of course, you can make any manual changes if you like. Now, if you prefer it, you can make changes by simply telling the AI what you would like to change. For example, let's add some locker room facilities for this spreadsheet. Then when you click on the design button, it will open up a new tab with a graphical representation of all of the spaces that are in the spreadsheet. Now, this is completely linked up with the program, so any changes that you make here will be reflected in the spreadsheet and vice versa. Finally, you can select this program and place it on a presentation sheet to complete the presentation of this project phase. Next is the visual program. So in the design environment, you can add furniture, and this can be found on the BIM button. Here you can simply drag furniture to these spaces. You can create new plans, for example, an academic program blocks, and this can be placed on the presentation sheet as well. Now let's talk about the adjacencies. Once we have the main spaces, it's important to figure out how these spaces are going to be connected or distributed. With the help of AI, we can first compute all adjacencies and then arrange everything in the most efficient way. Now, of course, we can manually move things around afterwards. Next is the diagram. So if you would like to change any of the proportions, for example, for these fields, you can simply do that by locking the lock icon, and then it will keep the area size but change the proportions. And of course, if you unlock it, it will change the area size. Now, once you make all of the necessary changes, you can again place that on presentation sheet and pick a style that you want to use. In this case, I've picked out this bubble diagram because it, well, looks really cool. Now we can draw all of these connections here to have kind of a customized approach to connecting all of our bubbles in the diagram. Now let's import the site. This is where our project starts to feel real. We'll hide all of the spaces and go to the import site. Simply copy and paste coordinates from Google Maps to Snaptrude, and it will find the location. We can pick our property parcels here, and we can even merge them into one, which is really cool. Now, once loaded, we can see the terrain, satellite image, and even the buildings. Here, we're going to delete all of the existing buildings on our parcel, so we can kind of start off with a clean slate. Now, this site is a bit uneven for our project, so we will flatten it and excavate it a little bit to get a better surface to work with. Now, after that, we will be adding the roads. Now, for sustainability analysis, we can include a sun path and also create a 3D view for it. Let's now hide all of the surroundings around the property so we can have a more focused view. Now, to make it easier to work with such a large parcel, it makes sense to include a grid. This is done easily with the use of reference lines. The next step is going to be to place spaces on our property. The grid will help with that. As we place spaces, we will then set their departments and make sure it fits into our original program. Also, we can set the labels, outside dimensions, as well as height and the number of stories for each of these masses. Now, once we complete the layout, we can visualize it in the 3D view, but also run sun hour analysis to make sure that we have no issues with too much or not enough sun exposure inside of our model. And we're going to isolate our massing and place it on a sheet along with the total carpet area across all departments. We're also going to create a sheet with sun hour analysis along with a material palette with some reference images. Next, we're going from massings and spaces into actual 3D BIM geometry. We're going to take our spaces and arrange them inside of the massing. You can simply drag it over and it's done. Now, after completing the layout, we will need to apply the furniture. This can be done by creating one classroom template, in this example, with the desks and chairs and windows and a door, and then simply apply that template to the rest of the classrooms in our design. This same method is used to complete the rest of the buildings as well. Additional spaces or areas can be added by simply sketching them out. In this example, we're adding a garden next to the buildings. We can also include trees at this stage, and this is kind of our complete campus. Now let's do the exteriors. By creating the interior, we have outlined some of the basic walls, but now it's time to complete the exterior of our project. We will start by adding an additional wall to work as sort of a screen for our buildings, and it will also create kind of a more unified look across the entire project. Some of the walls will convert to curtain walls and add some mullions, and with a little bit of work we can get to this amazing level. Now we can create some 3D views to start rendering. We can define rendering style, model type, time, and weather. Description can also be added to help the AI rendering engine to give us the best results. This is what we get as a result, and it looks really, really cool. Let's just place it on the sheets now along with other views. I will include the campus plan as well as the middle school plan here. With the presentation ready, now it's time to move to the next project stage, which is going to be inside of Revit. For this, let's go to Export, define the file name and format, and once we then export it and open it up inside of Revit, we can see that this file is fully compatible. This means that the walls and the openings, so that means the doors and windows, will perform exactly like they would if they were created in Revit. It's all native geometry, and if you've ever worked with imports in Revit, you know that this is really, really rare to see. And that's it. That's the entire workflow from the beginning, from the program to a complete project, which we can now continue developing inside of Revit. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and again, if you would like to test out Snaptrude, the link is going to be up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.